With vaccines rolling out in the countries all around the world, it's only a matter of time before we all take that much-deserved vacation we've been longing for. I'm rather amazed that most of us haven't gotten cabin fever having been cooped up in our homes for so many months. Like me, I'm sure that most of you are eager to get back to your regularly scheduled lives. But with everything we've been through, I think a fabulous vacation to unwind and relax a bit is just what the doctor ordered. With the travel industry still trying to recover from the devastation launched by coronavirus, travelers are left with cheap flights, amazing hotel deals, and some countries are even offering cash to cover entrance tickets to their most popular attractions. For example, Las Vegas casino owner Derek Stevens gave away 1,000 flights to Las Vegas in order to jumpstart domestic tourism. Others have taken extensive safety measures to ensure that travelers will be safe once vacations become the norm again. We've done all the research. Just stay tuned and we'll fill you in on all the details about finding a great destination to celebrate the end of COVID-19. But before you pick this travel adventure, here are a couple additional tips and tricks to keep in mind when planning your vacation. TravelSites.com presents 7 travel destinations to visit after the COVID-19 pandemic. When it comes to airline tickets, remember that domestic and international airlines are scrambling to keep their heads above water because of coronavirus. Keep your eye on their websites for major deals that they're going to be rolling out in an attempt to boost their sales and stay afloat. You can use tools like Skyscanner or Cheapo Air to get alerts anytime prices drop or other deals are offered. And don't pass up low-cost budget airlines that you might usually overlook. For example, Southwest Airlines extended its seasonal sale until the end of the year, offering fares as low as $49. Airlines are also offering deals on travel gift cards, which can be used on future bookings, so you can get your flights cheaper even before you decide when and where you're going. If you didn't know, you can purchase gift cards for Southwest Airlines, Airbnb, Carnival Cruise Lines, Hotels.com, Uber, and more directly on the websites or through Amazon.com. And finally, keep an eye on flexible change and cancellation policies so that you can still take advantage of the deals but fly later when you're more comfortable. Now, when it comes to picking a destination, you need to be creative and flexible. This is a great chance to go to places that you've often considered too far away or just too expensive. Look for destinations offering incentives. We'll get to those incentives a little bit later. These countries are doing everything they can to entice travelers and increase their tourism again. For example, Sicily has a fund of $84 million that will provide travelers with vouchers to cover hotel costs and tickets to tourist attractions. Safety first, so always pick a destination that has efficient precautions in place, testing prior to departure, testing on arrival, that kind of thing. Go to TravelSites.com for an up-to-date list of travel regulations that are currently being imposed. Now, when it comes to accommodations, you might not normally choose a hotel based on its cost or location, but the prices are now the lowest they've ever been. You can find rooms at up to 50% off in some instances. Look out for additional perks offered by hotels to entice travelers too, such as free room upgrades, free nights, food and beverage credits, discounts to their spa or other facilities, and even free airport transportation. Pay special attention to the amenities and perks offered on the property, such as an infinity pool, in-house spa, a salon or beauty center, a state-of-the-art fitness center, or any other features that might be important to you. You can't get discounted spa treatments if the hotel doesn't have a spa. Depending on where you're going, don't forget basic amenities such as parking, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, heat, that kind of thing. Now, after months of little to no income from tourism, countries around the world are in a race to entice visitors to choose them for their first big trip after lockdowns are lifted and vaccines are administered. All of this scrambling in the travel and tourism industry spells better deals for travelers if you just know where to look. Additionally, we also want to visit countries that have prioritized safety and are taking additional measures to ensure a healthy and happy getaway. So without further delay, here are some of the best vacation destinations to choose from for your post-COVID holiday. Switzerland. Now that should be on everybody's bucket list if it isn't already. It's one of those places that tugs at your heartstrings no matter where your interests lie. They have such spectacular sights, award-winning attractions, and delicious foods to indulge in. They've also taken up a Geneva Box initiative to counter the decline in tourism due to the pandemic. Here are some of the best reasons to choose Switzerland for your post-pandemic getaway. When it comes to attractions, you can't beat Appenzell, a picturesque Swiss village that is removed from the real world and wrapped up in folklore. You can walk the narrow cobblestone streets, take in the color motifs, and check out the local cheese and embroidery that they've been known for. You may even meet some of the local artisans and be able to purchase their crafts as souvenirs for yourself or your friends and family back home. Titlis is home to the world's first rotating cable car. The Titlis Mountain is famed for its outdoor activities such as skiing and snowboarding, and don't miss the Cliff Walk, the highest elevation suspension bridge in Europe. And of course, you can't forget Lake Lucerne. You can enjoy the many beautiful views from the spas and resorts surrounding this beautiful lake. Other than enjoying the facilities offered there, you can also spend your time swimming, boating, diving, windsurfing, and partaking in other water sports. And while you're in Switzerland, don't forget, Swiss cheese is famous around the world, but it's the iconic fondue that you really want to try while you're there. The pot of melted cheese is usually served with an array of things to dip into it, like bread, olives, vegetables, and more. And of course, there's Swiss chocolate as well. Don't miss that. The country has a reputation for producing high-quality chocolates and is renowned for its milk chocolate in particular. Visit a local chocolate artisan shop or take a tour of a large chocolate factory to learn about the art and its history in Switzerland. And of course, you want to try Rösti. It's similar to hash browns. It's a Swiss dish made of grated potatoes formed and served as a fritter. Now, as we mentioned before, Switzerland launched the Geneva Boxes, which are several packages that combine hotel stays, experiences, and entrance tickets to local attractions. The boxes have a wide range to include different experiences like a cookery workshop or a watchmaking class. They're suitable for different budgets, and depending on which one you choose, you can save up to 65% by opting for a box rather than booking hotels and attractions individually. Go to travelsites.com for more details on Geneva Boxes. Another great location, Uzbekistan. It's full of unmatched natural beauty around every corner. As one of the most famous trade routes on the Silk Road, you'll be able to see some of the most iconic historical sites. Not only will you get a chance to explore stunning destinations, but you'll also find yourself amidst a rich culture full of tradition and art. Here are some of the best reasons to choose Uzbekistan for your post-pandemic getaway. First up, there's the Bibi Hanım Mosque. This stunning 15th century mosque is one of the country's most important monuments. You can spend hours exploring every aspect of the mosque architecture, from the minarets and the cupola to the huge stone Quran stand and the open courtyard. The Korsu Market, or Korsu Bazaar as it's also known, can be found in the center of the town Tashkent. The traditional marketplace has vendors for fresh meat, vegetables, dried fruit and nuts, fresh bread, and works from local artisans. Now, Greater Chimgan is a mountainous area about 2 hours away from the capital. It's a great place for those who want an adventurous outdoorsy vacation. Available activities include mountaineering, hiking, rock climbing, horseback riding, hang gliding, snowboarding, and skiing. Uzbekistan has many national dishes that you'll definitely want to try. First on the list is plov. It's one of the country's most renowned dishes. You'll find it in every corner of the land, from roadside eateries to hotel restaurants. There are over 200 varieties of plov, though the rice dish usually includes fried beef, onions, carrots, eggs, and sometimes local sausages. Manti is a dumpling that's stuffed with seasoned minced meats and onions, and it's probably going to become your favorite meal while you're in Uzbekistan. It's usually served with ketchup, vinegar, or sour cream, but it can be eaten all on its own. And then there's lakman, the hand-pulled noodles that have several variations but are often tossed in combination of meats, usually beef, various herbs and spices, and vegetables like onions, garlic, and bell peppers. Now be sure to note that Uzbekistan launched their Safe Travel Guaranteed campaign as a way of reassuring travelers that the country was so confident in their extensive safety and hygiene measures that they were willing to put money where their mouth is. Visitors who contract COVID-19 during their visit will receive $3,000 as compensation. The financial incentive is there to show travelers that the country is so safe to visit, they're willing to cover your travel costs. Next up on our list is Sicily, Italy. Now, the majority of Sicily's revenue comes from tourism, and the island has lost over $1 billion since it went into lockdown. Italy in particular took a hit to its reputation as a tourist destination at the beginning of the pandemic because of the country's inability to handle its initial rises in cases and thereby deaths. As a way of showing travelers that it's safe again and to give people the opportunity to see everything Sicily has to offer, they've introduced some great travel incentives. This way, you can see and do all that the island offers at a fraction of the cost. Here are some of the best reasons to choose Sicily for your post-pandemic getaway. First of all, there's the Valley of the Temples. It's an ancient archaeological site and one of the best examples of Greek art and architecture that you'll come across in Sicily. Blending into the landscape, this impressive and charming monument is a testimony of Sicily's rich culture. You'll learn all about the ancient temples and the adjacent museum dedicated to them. The Egadian Islands are comprised of 5 small mountainous islands, and it's a favorite for travelers and tourists from all over the world. You can go on a boat tour, explore the caves, fishing, parasailing, or biking along the coast. And of course, Stromboli. The small island on the north coast of Sicily is the home of 3 active volcanoes. You can spend your days swimming by the black sand beaches or hiking to the volcano's summit. A couple of things you don't want to miss there? Well, of course, cannoli. Nothing like a delicious fresh cannoli for breakfast when you're in Sicily. That's right, breakfast. We all know these fried pastry tubes that are stuffed with sweet, creamy filling. You can add your choice of toppings, which range from pistachios and chocolate chips to an array of candied fruits. And the wine. This may stand out compared to the usual food and drinks we suggest, but the wine in Sicily is so good that we have to include it. Sicily is one of the largest wine-producing regions in Italy and is especially known for its Marsala wines. And if you like fresh fish or seafood, the waters around Sicily are home to several delicious varieties of tuna, sardines, swordfish, octopus, squid, prawns, and mussels. Restaurants in the area have their own variations of fish and seafood dishes, and all of them are worth trying. Now, the Department of Tourism has launched an $84 million See Sicily voucher program. Using regional government money, visitors will be able to apply for a refund for up to half of their flight cost and up to a third of their hotel expenses. Other aspects also include free and low-cost tickets to tourist attractions, museums, historical sites, and more. The program hasn't launched yet, but you'll be able to apply on the Visit Sicily website once it does. And there's Greece, an astonishing country that will take your breath away whenever you turn a corner. Everywhere you go, you are surrounded by pristine beaches with azure waters, exotic and lush forests thriving with flora and fauna, and rugged mountains that are an outdoorsy traveler's dream come true. The diverse and rich culture of the land alone is enough to attract you. Like everywhere else, the tourist industry in Greece has also been affected by COVID-19, and they too have instilled some initiatives to draw more visitors in 2021. Let's look at a couple reasons for choosing Greece for your post-pandemic getaway. Of course, there's the Acropolis of Athens. It's a hilltop temple monument that dates back to the 5th century BC. The ancient citadel comprises the remains of several buildings with historical and architectural significance, the most famous being the Parthenon. The Parthenon is a former temple dedicated to the goddess Athena. Elfanisi is an island located in the region of Chania. It's as picturesque as a postcard. You can walk through the shallow azure waters to get to the island during warmer seasons. More than the water though, its pink sand beaches are really going to amaze you. And we've all heard of Mount Olympus. It's the highest mountain in Greece and can be found in Olympus, a national park and World Biosphere Reserve. Thousands of local and international tourists visit this every year to scale the mountain peaks, enjoy outdoor activities like hiking, and take in the flora and fauna that thrives there. There are a couple of Grecian dishes you may want to try before you leave. First of all, souvlaki. I mean, you really can't visit Greece without eating souvlaki. In the US, you may have already had souvlaki but recognize it as the gyro. Either way, the delicious meat dish can be found all over Greece, from sidewalk stalls to fancy restaurants. You can have it served in a freshly baked flatbread or over a serving of seasoned rice. And of course, there's horiatiki. Now, you may wonder why we're suggesting a salad on a list of must-eat foods while in Greece, but hear me out. Horiatiki is not like any salad you've had back home. Instead, this refreshing and delicious dish is comprised of cucumber, tomato, onions, olives, and feta cheese, and it's often served with barley rusk. The combination is amazing, and it will definitely become one of your go-to meals while you're in Greece. Now, chances are you've already had moussaka even if you've never been to Greece. A combination of casserole and lasagna, the layers of moussaka traditionally include seasoned and sautéed eggplant, minced lamb meat, and other ingredients like garlic and tomatoes. It's comfort food at its finest, and you'll find it in restaurants all over Greece. You may even find a Grecian grandmother willing to teach you their ways in a cooking class. Now, Greece has temporarily reduced their value-added tax from 24% to 13% on all transport, including flight tickets, train tickets, and bus tickets. This should encourage visitors since it would make it cheaper to visit and travel around Greece. Another post-pandemic travel incentive to keep in mind: Greece has many remote destinations within the country that are both beautiful and off the beaten track, ensuring that you have a crowd-free vacation. Now, the Maldives has climbed to the top of travel bucket lists for years now, and it's not surprising given how the country has crystal clear waters, pristine beaches, and unique hotel accommodations that are fit for royalty. It's even better because their most famed hotel accommodations are usually floating villas, hovering above the water, peaceful, and best of all, secluded, meaning you can be vacationing and socially distant all at once. The hotels in Maldives are known for their incomparable features and amenities, such as underwater restaurants, floating cinemas, and award-winning fine dining. And with the addition of all their pandemic precautions and travel incentives, of course, it should be on this list. Here are some of the best reasons to choose the Maldives for your post-pandemic getaway. First of all, you can sail in a traditional dhonie boat. Often handcrafted, these Maldivian sailing boats are a great way to get out on the water and take in the sunset with your friends, family, or significant other. You can often pair these boat rides with excursions such as romantic dinners on the beach, snorkeling, or island hopping. And you'll be able to dine in an underwater restaurant. It's a chance to have a meal completely submerged underwater. So when in Maldives, take advantage of this chance. The Itha Undersea Restaurant at Conrad, Maldives is a popular option, and you'll be dining while surrounded by stunning views of life underwater. Plus, you get to watch a movie on the beach. Snuggling up with your loved one while watching movies and eating popcorn is fun, even on your couch. But imagine being on the beach under the stars with the sun setting over the ocean behind the screen. It makes watching a movie an entirely different experience. Now, there are some local dishes you don't want to miss. Mashuni is comprised of smoked tuna, shredded and served with grated and seasoned coconut, chopped onions, and drizzled with lemon. It's an extremely popular meal for breakfast, and it's amazing with some freshly made flatbread. You'll find this flavorful dish in hotel buffets, local restaurants, and even roadside eateries. Sagu bondiba is a remarkably simple dessert. It's a vegetarian-friendly pudding made with sago, condensed milk, coconut milk, cardamom, and rose water. It's melt in your mouth good and is something you'll probably try recreating once you're back home. And of course, there's the Maldivian Lady, the country's very own cocktail. It's perfect to sip as you unwind on the golden beach, overlooking the sun setting over the azure waters. The fruity and tropical drink is a concoction of apricot brandy, rum, grenadine, pineapple juice, and orange juice. Now, the Maldives has put several strict procedures in place to protect visitors and residents from COVID-19. In addition to the measures taken by airlines and airports, several hotels and resorts are offering complimentary on-site testing for their guests to ensure that everyone on the property continues to be safe. This also eliminates the need for guests to leave the property to get tested after their arrival, as is required for some travelers. Maldives will also be the very first country in the world to offer a destination hospitality program, the Maldives Border Miles program. This three-tiered loyalty program will place tourists in either bronze, silver, or gold tiers based on the number of points the guests have. Points are earned based on duration of stay, number of visits, special occasions, and may even integrate stays at certain hotels, dining at certain restaurants, and visiting certain attractions. Points can then be used for privileged immigration clearance, room upgrades, and other freebies during your stay. Go to travelsites.com for more information on the Maldives Border Miles program. And this list wouldn't be complete without Cancun. Cancun, Mexico has been a popular vacation destination for generations. The great weather throughout the year, the gorgeous beaches, and its reputation as a party playground for adults and families has attracted people from all over the world. Additionally, history buffs are going to love all the rich tradition and culture they'll come across, especially in the oceanside Mayan city of Tulum. With all the travel incentives Cancun is offering, it might be a great opportunity for you to stay in one of the really fancy resorts that Cancun is renowned for. Let's look at some great reasons for choosing Cancun, Mexico as your post-pandemic getaway. The Mayan ruins at the El Meco archaeological site are on the outskirts of Cancun. It may be small in comparison to others, but it's definitely worth a visit when you're there. The well-preserved site has one of the highest Mayan pyramids in the area. You can take a local guide with you as they're full of fun and interesting knowledge about the inhabitants dating back to 200 AD. Now, the Cancun Underwater Museum is one of the most visited attractions in Cancun. There are underwater sculptures called the Enchanted Forest, which seem surreal as they float magically underwater. You can experience them from a glass-bottom boat or on a snorkeling or diving expedition. Isla Cantoy is a small island just a little bit over 5 miles long. Declared a national park in 1998, the park attracts over 200 visitors every day. The beaches on the island are a haven for turtles to nest, so there's a chance you'll see several species like leatherbacks, hawksbills, loggerheads, and green turtles. It's also a can't-miss attraction for fans of ornithology, since it houses several species of birds like the double-crested cormorant. When you go, you'll want to try the marquesitas. It's a local treat favored by residents and visitors alike. You'll find stands serving these crispy cakes filled with melted cheese and a sweet filling of your choice like peanut butter, Nutella, or jam. Cancun has an alternative to hummus or guacamole. Sicopac is a pumpkin seed-based dip often served with tortillas, pita wedges, or veggies. The smoky flavor is one of a kind and will leave you wanting more every time you think you're done. Castacan is a mouth-watering fried pork belly that you'll find throughout Cancun. The exterior of the pork belly is super crispy, while the middle is incredibly soft and juicy. If you're a fan of pork belly, El Castacan is going to be your favorite during the trip. Now, the Cancun Hotel Association has launched a campaign which has several major perks for travelers. Visitors who purchase 2 tickets to Cancun will have 1 refunded back to them, thereby making it a 2 for the price of 1. You'll also get 2 free nights of accommodation for every 2 nights you pay for. The same goes for car rentals, 2 free days for every 2 days paid for. The program will also include discounted tickets to museums and attractions, including theme parks, golf courses, and spas. Now, it wasn't until the recent past that Cyprus rose to fame as one of Europe's top vacation destinations. The country, which is now largely dependent on the tourism industry, came to a standstill much like everywhere else during the pandemic. Prior to COVID-19, Cyprus welcomed nearly 2 million tourists every year. And you'll understand why as soon as you experience the rich history, amazing attractions, delicious food, and now there are additional pandemic precautions and travel incentives. Here are a few reasons you might want to go to Cyprus. The Tomb of Kings. It's a large, ancient necropolis that has been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Dating back to the 4th century BC, the underground tombs are the burial sites of aristocrats and high officials. Touring the site with an informed local will magnify the experience as you'll learn all about its significance in Cyprus history. Coral Bay is a popular tourist resort. It's full of glorious white sand beaches, azure waters, sea caves, and rocky headlands that are so picturesque they'll take your breath away. You can spend the day sunbathing, swimming, and participating in fun and adventurous water sports. The Church of St. Lazarus was founded in the late 9th century. It's a Greek Orthodox church that is situated in the heart of Larnaca, Cyprus. History has it that this is the burial site of Lazarus of Bethany from the second time that he died. You remember the first time he was resurrected by Jesus. The history and architecture of the structure is so immaculate you don't want to miss out on any aspects, such as the restored iconostasis. A few things you might want to try while in Cyprus. Koupepia is one of the most traditional dishes you'll come across in Cyprus. It's a yummy dish, often served as an entree or sometimes as part of a mesa platter. Imagine minced pork or beef cooked in a fragrant tomato sauce with other herbs and spices, wrapped in grape leaves with rice. Simply superb. Souvla is Cyprus's version of barbecue. It's comprised of big chunks of lamb or pork, seasoned, skewered, and then slowly cooked over a charcoal flame. Filled with so much flavor, souvla is often served with side dishes like rice and salad, and it's sure to become one of your favorites. One of the simplest yet most delicious desserts we've come across, loukamatis can be found in coffee shops and street-side vendors all across Cyprus. The deep-fried dough balls are soaked in honey, sprinkled with powdered sugar, and served warm to ensure that the delicious concoction melts in your mouth. Now, visitors who fall ill from COVID-19 while visiting Cyprus will have their entire vacation costs covered by the government. This includes any expenses they may have towards accommodations, food, or medicines used by patients or their family members, should any of them test positive while on the island. That means that vacationers would only have to pay for transportation to the airport and their flight home. I know it seems like it comes at the cost of getting sick, but it also means that Cyprus is so confident in the precautions and safety measures they've taken that they're willing to put money where their mouth is. Check out travelsites.com for more information about the travel incentives in Cyprus. Now, these are just a few destinations that have established travel incentives to attract visitors from all over the world. If you look closely, you'll find many more who are offering deals on hotels, reimbursements on flight tickets, and discounted entrance tickets to their best attractions. So, tell us in the comments below which destinations would you like to visit after the COVID-19 pandemic. Did we miss your favorite? Let us know in the comments section. Like always, this video is brought to you by travelsites.com, which helps you get the best travel experience. Don't forget to like and subscribe to find more useful travel tips and exciting places for your next travel adventure.